Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Wishing you all a pleasant afternoon. I, Aditya Manan, will be your host for today's webinar. I would like to send my hearty greetings to all the attendees and thank you for coming. I would like to shed some light on the webinar first. We all are here for the webinar on basic element of research. Well, who doesn't wish to know about basic element of research, and understanding of basic elements of research is essential for good research practices. Among the most important elements to be considered are introduction, literature review, research methodology, data analysis, results, conclusion, and reference page. Moving on, let me brief you with the organization. Digisaksham is an initiative of SEMS Group, which has developed content for over 300 courses in multiple languages, which range from 4 hours to 6 months in various sectors of IT, BFSI, retail, entrepreneurship for all age groups from school children, youth, professionals, and senior citizens. Digisaksham also conducted more than 100 webinars, 10 FDPs, and workshops, 6 international conferences. Digisaksham impacted more than 15,000 plus lives through various webinars, conferences, workshops, and seminars across the globe. Let me introduce you all to our speaker for today, Mr. Abhishek Kumar sir. He is a student researcher at GIMS Rohini. He has published 3 research papers on smart road technologies, neural networks, recommendation systems. One of his research papers was awarded as the best paper in an international conference on innovation and sustainability by JK Lakshmipat University. He has completed his internship on preventing DDoS attacks from DRDO Delhi. His area of interest are artificial intelligence, neural networks, IoT, and smart technologies. Okay, so without further ado, let me hand over the mic to Sir Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. So,
Thanks.
first of all, good evening from India to everyone. As I can see, people are saying good morning from Philippines. Hello, good morning to them. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the basic elements of research. So before starting, I would like to tell you like what was my experience, and I guess most of you, maybe you guys hadn't done any research yet, and maybe some of you had done it most so you guys will have a different experience than me, but let me share my experience first. So research is something, it takes time, it takes a lot of time. There is no perfect research, so it will improve with time. Like you start the research, you will do some mistakes, you will learn with time. So it is all the process which we all have to follow. I have done many mistakes. It took me a lot to write my first research paper, and at the end of that you will get the prize, because my first research paper was awarded as the best paper award, and I was very happy with that. That was the biggest factor of motivation to me. So it was the time of July 2018 when I started like wanted to deep dive into the world of research, and I literally had no clue about it. And then I just keep following the steps, keep following the guidelines of my mentors, and then the outcome was literally amazing, and I really feel proud for that step that I have done. So if most of you like if any of you hadn't started yet, let me be the motivation factor for you. You just started and you will face difficulties, but you will definitely overcome. If I can do it, you can also do it. What is the definition of research for you? The systematic investigation into and study of material and sources in the order to establish fact and reach new conclusion is the research, is the definition of research. So let me tell it again. So research is something which you will read about a particular topic. Let us suppose there's a technology which came in the market new. Let's take example of metaverse. I don't know what metaverse is. I don't know what is the history behind it. I don't know what are the advantages and disadvantages. So in the research, what you will do, you read a lot about it. You can give your own conclusion. You can introduce your own methods, and you can tell the advantages and disadvantages. Why people refer to do research? Because it is an authentic documentation of your voice. So like if I wanted to start with something, like I don't know about a particular technology, what I will do, I will go and Google it, I will read some articles on it, I will go and watch YouTube videos, And when you get that knowledge, that you can able to tell it to the world, so people use different methodologies. Maybe people create some videos, people create blog articles, people create research papers. So research is one of the way that you tell the world that, oh, this is your perspective for it and this is your contribution for it. So that's what a research is. So research are of many different types. I have characterized them, characterized, like, especially I'm from IT field, so I'm going to cover specifically about the IT, but the concepts and the procedure, the do's and don'ts, which I'm going to tell, will be the same for every field as well. So specifically about the IT, if we divide the research types, there are six types which I have divided. First is the technology introduction. You can write a paper on new technology. Right now in India, metaverse is on boom, so you can write it on metaverse, or it could be Bitcoin technology. People are not aware about it because people need a platform, people need a official platform, so that they could able to go somewhere and just save the time. Basically you are saving the time of the people by giving and also adding your own personal perspective in that. So that's the first kind of a paper. And the second kind of a paper you can write is a survey paper. So survey paper is something where you take survey from the people. It could be online, it could be offline, it could be, you can take it on the online medium, you can use many mediums as you want, and then at the end of the paper you conclude what survey says according to you. You do the data analysis, and at the end of the survey, like, this is the positive feedback, this is the negative feedback. And the third one is the analysis paper or the comparison paper, like differentiating between two technologies, differentiating different between two methodologies, analyzing different facts and figures. That's what I have characterized in analysis paper. And the fourth one is the experimental result paper. So you can conduct an experiment and you can tell the world like what your experiment looks like, and like there's an experiment which is already there and you want to conduct it yourself. So you can write experimental paper. This is your experiment. This was your result. And the next one is persuasive paper. Persuasive paper is something which does not have actual conclusion. It's all about the giving positive and negative sides of two different voices, like giving the viewers, the readers, the two different voices together, so that people differentiate themselves what is useful for them and what is not. So the next one is cause and effect paper. So there's a happening, or like there's a new technological innovation has been done. So every technological innovation has some effects on the human psychology, on human, on the environment as well. Just like 5G technology had faced a lot of issues, so something like that. You can write a paper on that as well. So this is all the types of research paper. So before doing a research, if you are a new to research area, you will discover a lot of tools and platforms, and there are many communities which are available online specifically for research. Just like Facebook is a platform where people share their views, YouTube is a platform where they share their videos. For the short videos, there is Instagram, and so such like that. There is a platform. There are not one. There are many platforms which are available, but some of them are like the most trusted ones. So that is ResearchGate. ResearchGate is a very good platform. If you want to start a research, I should definitely recommend you create an account on ResearchGate and then get started. For getting an account on a ResearchGate, it takes like you should use your official mail ID from your college or organization. Or if you don't have it, you can ask from someone to invite you. You can't just directly log in into ResearchGate. You will need some authentication. So if anybody is already present on the ResearchGate, they can invite you, or you can use your official mail ID as well. So other platform is the Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a very good platform, and here you don't need to get any official mail ID. You can definitely search many papers out there, and you can conduct and start your research. So during my phase of researching, I created an account on ResearchGate and then I get started. I read the work of different people because it's all about learning from people. then get to decide like what do you want. So I did that. I did an account on ResearchGate, then I started learning. So after that, there's a platform. Like sometimes on ResearchGate, if you will try to find a paper, so there are three types of visibility criteria over there, which is like publicly available, which is accessible to everyone, or it could be private, and it could be request from the author. Like you need to request the paper to see the author, then author will give you the permission, then only you could able to check it out. So it sometimes it takes a lot of time. So the solution for that is the Science Hub. Science Hub is a platform. Like every paper have its authentication mark, like authentication number, just like we have our IDs in our country, our passport is there, and the number on the passport is unique for everyone. So such like that, every paper has its DOI number, that is digital object identifier number. So you can check that DOI number and paste that DOI number on the Science Hub interface. Then you can check out the research paper, because in on Science Hub have a big server and everything is free over there. So that is also a good platform. But Science Hub has its own restrictions as well, which is not available in many countries. So yes, you can check accordingly to that. So after that, let me start with the steps of research paper. Like what if you are new to research, what steps you are going to follow during the research. So the first step is selecting the topic, not just the topic, also the subtopic. Such as, let me take example, I want to do a research and I took the topic artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a vast topic, very big topic. It have its sub branches as well, and I should get started. I should also take a subtopic. So first step is to take the is to decide what topic should be there, then start researching about it, then start reading about it. And when you get to know about this particular topic, you will get to know that what are the things which are included in artificial intelligence. Then you can choose the subtopic of your research and start reading about it. It is really recommended to read at least 25 or 30 plus research paper before writing your research paper, before writing your own research paper. Because if something is new to you, and by the way, if you are doing a like a methodology, if you already know about it, then it's perfectly fine. But if you are new to the field of research and you don't know about the technology, but still you wanted to write a research paper on it, so then it is really recommended to read a lot. The more you read, the better your paper will look like, and the better your doubts will be clear to you. So after that, there's a step of writing the research paper. During that phase, when you will write your research paper, you will go through many different phases. Like you will have to write the introduction, then a literature review. I'm going to cover them all at the end, what should be included in that, and what shouldn't be included. So writing the paper is a big step, and it takes a lot of time. Definitely it is not a one day thing. You will take a lot of time to write it. You will have to select a keyword, and then you will have to write it in your own language. You will have to also check the plagiarism as well. So yes, that's also a big step. But when you are done with the writing, you can send your paper to the journal or the conference hunting. Conference hunting is also a big step, because you need to find which conference is right for you, which conference is right for your paper. You can't send your technology paper to the management conference. That's not a good thing to do. So hunting is a big thing, and maybe you will get accepted, maybe you will not get accepted. So that's a further process. But you need to decide which conference should be there. First, you need to send your manuscript. Then you will get an acceptance letter or not. You will accept it, and they will also share you a feedback form, like why you didn't get accepted, so that you could improve your paper with time, then apply it to the conference again. So you can directly send it to journal, or you can send it to conference, then conference will send it to journal. So there are many methods to get it published. And after that, there is a flag check and format. Flag check is also a big thing. Flag just because every conference, every journal has its own guidelines, so you need to format your paper according to that. And it also takes a lot of time as well. And then the final step is present your paper and get the certificate. and you will definitely feel proud after that. Okay, so for flag check, like I have mentioned flag thing. So for flag check, you can use different softwares. There are many software that are available online, but it's all about which software is more authentic, which software gives you the maximum output, which software is more correct. So I recommend using Turnitin. It's a very good software, but maybe it's paid, or you will get only free version for 2 or 3 papers. But you can definitely ask your university, and if you are in a university college, they definitely got the subscription for it. So Turnitin is a good platform for Plagster. Although you can use any platform you want, but it's all about like which is the best one. So for me, it's Turnitin. Flag is something which is very important if you are writing a research paper, because it should be your own personalized thoughts. It should not be copied. It should, like, if you are even copying it, just give the credit to the people you have copied it from. So here we have covered the all the steps which you will get through during writing your research paper. Now, what should be included in the paper and what should not be included? That's also very good. So first, when you will start reading a research paper, you will get the abstract. That's the very first thing you will see. But abstract is something which you will have to write. You should write at the end of the paper, because abstract is the whole summary of the paper, whole summary of the whole research which you have done, and it should be written in the end. So first step for including like how to start writing the research paper is to start with the introduction. In introduction, you should include what is the motive behind it. What is the motive behind reading? What is the motive behind writing this paper particularly? Why this technology? You will have to tell the significance of that particular technology in the society today, because that's how you are going to tell that. Like, let us suppose I'm writing on metaverse. So metaverse, why should I write on metaverse? Why should people learn about metaverse? Because it is very much famous. Everybody is talking about metaverse because metaverse is the future. That's what you will have to include, and you will also have to include what impact this technology, what impact your experimentation, your research is going to do in the society as well. So that's what should be written in the introduction. You can also introduce a short introduction about your technology or whatever you are doing, and then include these points. I definitely gonna tell you, your paper definitely going to get accepted in every journal, because it's something which every researcher have to face. Some people don't know what to write in the introduction. They introduce the technology and keep on introducing you, but no, you will have to add some things, and that you will have to devote like you will have to give the reference of the society, like why you are writing this, why this thing. You will have to tell what is the motivation behind it, and after that you will have to give the literature review. This part you can skip if you are working on a new technology, so definitely you will not get a lot of literature reviews. But yes, if you are working on a technology which has been established from here, you can start with the literature review. And also you will have to include these things like what the work which has been. Literature review basically is the summary of the work which has been done in the past on that particular topic. And you will also have to include like how your work is different from the past work, what you are going to innovate in that particular research paper. And after that, you can propose the method. What is the methodology which is there? What is the way? Like, it could be if you have collected a data set, so there might be the things like how you have collected it. So you can include all these things, like those we had the data set, like we had surveyed 5,000 people, so you need to include that as well. And who are those people? What are the statistics of those people? You can differentiate them with the age group, or maybe the gender, or maybe country wise, or maybe the class wise. So you can do it according to yourself, but you need to give the methodology. You need to give result for that. So these things should be included in the proposed model and the methodology section. Proposed model, like you can give the proposed model. Proposed model is something which you are going to introduce. So if you are proposing a new model, such like handwritten character recognition, we can take example. So handwritten character recognition right now have been operated on the neural network model, conventional neural network. But if you want, if you think that there's another model which could be more accurate than that, then you can introduce it. You can create your own model as well for that. And after that, there are results and finding of the whole research which you have done. The fifth part should be the research and finding of the survey. If you have surveyed it, so there might be the finding, like most of the people think this, most of the people think this, 70% people think this. All these should be included in this section. And at the end, there is a conclusion and future work. Conclusion should also include a one part of a one line summary of results as well, because conclusion is something you are concluding. Like most of the people think that way, that give you the full conclusion of the paper. And then you can also tell what could be done in future, so that people will able to understand, people will get the idea that you are interested in working in future as well. And the other most important part is the references. References is also very important, because when you are reading someone else's work, you should give credits to them. So that's what we do in the reference. So reference has its own significance. Reference has its own further explanation. I guess SEMS also conducting a workshop on reference as well. So I would also cover a short part of reference, like how to write reference, so that you will get to know and what are the kinds of references. But yes, so all these should be included in the paper. So now let's cover adding references. What should be included in the reference? People get lot more confused about like what should be right in the reference. People sometimes take the content from a blog, from a website, so they get confused about like what should be right. Should we just paste the link? No, that's not the way of doing it. So what do we follow? Like these are the things which should be included in a reference. We can start with like author name, then the year of publication, title of the paper or conference, or the journal name. You can also mention the volume as well, which volume is there, which edition is there in that, and then the link, so that it would be accessible to them. It would be accessible to the people who want to refer it. And the last access on. So the most journal format which have been followed by many of the journal is APA format. So APA format, according to the APA format, first we will write the name of the reviewer, the main reviewer. Then after that we write the year, in which year the journal got published. And after that mm, we write the review of the book and the title of the book, like what is the title of the book, and then the author name, and at the end the journal name and the page number. And after page number you can include the link as well, so that it would be easy for the people to access, like from where you are referring all these content from. So there are also many tools which are available, which will help you out with the reference thing. Just like there's a tool called Mendeley. So this tool is very famous worldwide, and you just have to upload your paper on it, and it will give you the way like what should be there. And also the research gate, like the social platform I was talking about. If you are referring a paper from there, there is also, you will get the column of citing. Let me show you the research gate platform. Okay. Yes, so I'm typing researchgate. Here is my profile. So here all the work which I have done will be visible here. Like if you want to start with the researchgate, let's type any topic. Suppose AI, artificial intelligence, I've typed. So here you will get the all the researchers who are interested in on it, and you can click on them and read their work. So basically, like what is the way of like the people which are on the top are the most famous people having the most citation is referring to someone else's work, like people have referred to him a lot. So there's a score which appear here, so it is according to that. So like he got so many citations. So this is how interface of a citation is. Like you can check out this paper and read it by using this case. So it will get, you can check it out, like we have started with the introduction and everything. So this is how you access it. And if you are just interested in the paper which are related to IT, you can skip to the section of publication. So here you will get all the publication which has been done on AI. So when you will write your paper, when you will send your paper to the journal, they will ask you the list of keywords. So it goes according to that. They will ask you the list of 7 to 8 keywords. Like if your keyword is artificial intelligence, they will going to show you your paper as the keyword artificial intelligence. Keywords, it's also a very big game, like how you will get the priority on any platform. And I can also show you the platform of Google Scholar. Here we go. This is the platform of Google Scholar. So you can also write AI over here and you will get different result. You can check out the profiles of many people. So these are the tools which you use. So let us suppose this is my paper, and I want to check like how many people have cited it from here. Like from more, you can go here. Like you want to cite this paper in your reference, so you can go here on the more, and then you can click over here. So here you can check all the format you want. So citation, I guess. Yes, the TXT format. Take some time. So here we go. This is the citation. That's what the reference was like. So if there is like this is different format. If you want to include the link, you can include it after that. So that's how you cite it. Yes, or you can also use the Mendeley software. So after that, let's come to the do's and don'ts in the research paper. So there are many things which you will learn with time, but there are some things which I have learned from my experience. So I have included all these things in my presentation so that you will not get to face all these things. So first step, like while you are writing your research paper, you should be clear with your ideas. You should not confuse the readers. You should not confuse the editor, because they will reject it if you are not sure with your ideas. Sometimes it's like you don't have the full idea about the particular thing, and you just start writing the paper. It will not work that way. It will never work that way. You should be precise, because time is everything. People don't have time. People are reading your research paper because they don't have time for it. They don't have time to go through all the information available on Google. That's why they are reading your research paper, so that they will get to know like what this thing is. So you need to communicate your ideas precisely and clearly. Then highlight the ideas and method used in research. You should highlight those things, like what are the methodology which you have used. It's like, let's talk about the COVID data analysis. If you are writing a paper on COVID data analysis, like vaccination feedback of people, if they are having a positive feedback, or if they are having a negative feedback. So you need to tell everything, like what you have done, how you have created the link. You have created a Google form link, then you have circulated it on social media platform. Then you also took a survey in your residential area as well, offline surveys. You need to tell everything in that, so that if the reader is reader will get to know like how you have done the whole thing, how you have surveyed everyone, how you have done the whole research thing. If you are conducting experiment in a lab, so you need to do that as well. You need to tell that as well. Like here you have conducted an experiment. This was the instrument. This was the reading before the experiment. This was the reading after the experiment. Everything should be there mentioned in the research paper. That's what it will make a good paper. Then justify your research with specific reason. You need to give reasons for everything. If you are writing a fact that English is a global language, you can't just write it English is a global language. You will have to tell them that this is basically, this is the official source which have said that English is a global language. So you can't just write it yourself. Every statement in your research paper is going to get counted, and you will be responsible for it. So that's why every statement, everything you will write in the paper, it should be true and authentic. And that's the fourth point. Always verify the accuracy and correctness of your data. You should verify it. You can't just take the data from any source, because it will not make it a perfect research. You should verify the sources. The sources should be authentic. If you are even conducted your, yeah, like you are collecting your data on primarily basis, so you need to tell them in the paper as well. So next is perform a thorough literature research for trustworthy and upmost date information. So if you want to write about a particular technology which existed 50 years back, you should read the recent research paper, because then only you will get to know like what is going on over there. There's no use of reading the research paper which was written 50 years back. Like if you want to get a thorough knowledge, you can read it. Like you can tell how the particular technology got evolved, so you can read them. But it's all depends upon. But your information should be up to date. Then only you could able to propose your own thoughts, your own methodology in the paper. And after that, test your research information and reliability. You should test that, and you should also include that in your paper, like how you have tested it. Let us suppose I'm proposing a machine learning model in the research paper, so I will definitely test it. So it's all about that. You should test every data, and the authenticity of that data is very important. Then provide solid evidence and sufficient supporting arguments in the favor of your research finding. You should do that. You should convey a point with the evidences, with the facts, with the figures and everything. That's what it will make a good research paper. And after that, write your paper with only detail about the research work. You don't need to deviate from the topic. If someone is there, if your paper titled with artificial intelligence, someone is there just because it was titled with artificial intelligence, so he is looking for some technical term that will help him in the artificial intelligence only. You don't need to divert during writing. Most of people do that. I did that, and my paper got rejected many times. Then I got to understand it that I don't need to divert from the topic. I don't need to start with the stories like I have started this. And you can't state yourself. You can't give your own examples in the research paper. It should be generalized. It should be like what people have experienced. You can tell what people have experienced, what most of the people have experienced. You can tell what your survey findings are, but it should be like in an authentic way. Then cite your reference appropriately. If you are copying someone else's work, if you are taking findings from someone, you should state that. It's a very good thing. Even not just in the research paper, even in your project paper, even in your assignments, it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing to do. Always give credit to the people. And the last step, proofread your paper several times, because it you could do a lot of spelling errors, a grammatical error, just like my PPT. One of the spelling of my word was I haven't proofread it that much sufficiently, so it was wrong. So I just came to figure it out. So that's what, like, a research paper is an official documentation, and you are going to show it to the world. So you need to proofread it as many times as possible. Then after that, there is a don'ts in the research paper. So the first thing is be honest with the readers. Tell them what your findings are. Most of the people do like they read some research paper, and the findings are different from what they have figured it out. So they mold it according to them, the research work they have read. So no, that's not a good thing. That's not should be done in the research paper. You should tell your finding, because data of every person is different. Data of the mind of every person is different. Methodology you are using will be different. So it could be possible you will get less accurate results, but it's okay. You should be honest with the readers, because that's how your paper will be authentic. After that, don't include anything that doesn't answer the question or solve the problem. There are, like, you will get a lot of data, but you will get some data like which is not relevant. So you should skip that data and don't include it in a paper. After that, there is keep it relevant and to point. as I have said it again, people are reading your research work because they want you to, they trust you and they think that they will get an idea about that particular thing in, through your research paper. So that's why keep it to the point, don't divert it anywhere else. So don't exceed the recommended word limit. So every journal has its own word limit, or you can go with the specific thing. Just like for a research paper, it's like 8 to 10 pages. So don't exceed that, because that is not a healthy thing, and that could also reject your paper as well if your paper is so long. Also like there are some people write papers of 17, 18, but it matters. Like it matters. It depends upon the journal where you are sending. It depends upon the level you are doing. So it's all about that. Even though if you will write it, and you will need to do that during the formatting session as well, because journal will not accept it if your paper will exceed the word limit or the page limit. So 8 to 10 pages is something which is very healthy to do that while writing a research paper. So the next thing, don't write it for the sake of writing. Make sure that each of your findings support the cause. Just like I have said in the introduction, you will need to tell them like why you are doing it, how it is going to affect the society, what difference it is going to make. So that's why each and every word, each and every finding should support it, should be there. Even if you are facing a negative finding, so you can include them with a positive feedback. So that's what the thing you will have to do. And don't forget to reference any supporting material or related research by other prominent research, because you need to appreciate the work of other people as well, because they have helped you, their paper have helped you in your research. So you, that's a healthy thing. Even though you can't just take someone else's line or findings in your paper, you need to give them credits. Don't cite Wikipedia as your reference source. I'm talking about Wikipedia because most of the people do that. I also did that, and I got the feedback that Wikipedia sources are not accurate. Like they are not authentic according to the research. Most of us trust Wikipedia. I know that, but for journal, they don't actually trust that much Wikipedia content, because they are, it could be edited by anybody else and somebody like that. So it is a healthy thing that you don't cite from Wikipedia. You can use other sources. You can research paper. If you are citing from a research paper, that is the most healthy thing to do. But if you, sometimes you will have to find the things in the articles. Sometimes you will have to search on Google. So you can also cite from there, but it depends upon the guidelines of journals. Some journals even accept the Wikipedia content, but in my experience, they didn't accept it. They have said it in my feedback form. And after that, don't use the others' work like by without rephrasing the sentence. You should, if you are copying something from someone, then also you will have to rephrase it. You will have to write it in your own words. You will have to write a summary of it. You can't just write the exact word which they have written. And for the plag criteria, I was talking about criteria. There should no plag in your research paper, but it's like when you write a research paper, so you definitely will refer it from someone. So people get flagged like 25%, 30% just because they are referring someone else's work, but you need to rephrase it. Then it will remove your flag. It will reduce your flag to 10%. 10% is a flag which journal, most of the journal accept, but it could be some of the journal even accept the 6% or 7% flag as well. So I think I have covered most of the thing while writing a research paper, what should be included and what should be done. Although you will get your own experience if you haven't written it, and I'm sure many of you have written it and you have your own different experience. You can share it in the chat box.
Is there anything, sir, you want to discuss more?
Yeah, like I said in the very beginning, research, like being a research student, I'm also a research student. I have been writing papers, like I was also writing a paper yesterday as well. So it's all about the time, like like with the time you will learn everything, and with the time you will get your own experience, with the time you will get your own difficulties. So it's all about like having that motivation in you, and you will definitely get through it. And research is a long process, and once you will learn it, you will get to know about it. Like it will get easy for you. My first paper took me 6 months to write it. and now I'm writing papers in 20 days, in 25 days, or 15 days as well. So it's all about the experience you will gain. It's all about the time. So if you are a research student, I know it's very difficult with the hectic schedule, but yes.
How does the review articles and research articles play their crucial role in students' life?
Basically, review articles are the things like if you are talking about a particular technology and you have read about it, review article is something which you give your reviews on that particular technology. It is very helpful. It is very helpful just because you need to read everything about that technology before giving any review about that particular technology. Okay, so it's like you can only summarize that particular technology if you have read all about it. So most of the time, I also get the assignments of like I got the assignment of write a review article about metaverse. So what I did, I need to find a lot of sources. I need to search out on Google Scholar, on ResearchGate for that. I also saw few videos because metaverse is something which is a new concept, and it was not like the I could able to find few articles, but not that much sufficient. So I have to learn a lot about it. I have to get a lot of information about it. So it's all about that, and then only I can able to review that thing. So research, like review article is given so that you will get information about that particular technology, and you can only write it when you have done the thorough research about. So that's how it helps in the student life.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Incredible, sir. I'm sure all participants learned something from you. All right then, let's give a big hand for Abhishek Kumar, sir, for joining us for today for enlightening us on it. Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone. That is it for today. We appreciate you all for being here.